Yeah, and thinking about my own children too, like with 9 of them, you know, I guess in my own life, I've had starts and restarts in my life. And I thought about, you know, as a parent, you can't coddle and helicopter your kids, or they never find out how to do their own lifting, or the self-confidence that I can just solve the things that come at me in life. But if you never show up for your kids, then they're questioning if they're loved and supported and things like that. And there's no perfect formula for getting that exactly right. I did a dedication for my son Caleb, who went through some stuff and has been coming out the other side. He just finished college and is thinking about going into the law. And if you know what he's been through, that's quite a remarkable transformation. So the dedications to him: for my son Caleb, the courageous. Growth is not a springtime flood, but a dance for all your seasons. Play the music loud. All right, so I'll give you a little section that'll give you a hint of maybe what Ezra, the protagonist, is going through. You know, I think sometimes there's been a tendency in the literature too to look at the urban experience as the natives who don't know who they are, and the res experience as the natives who do know who they are. And in my experience, you can be lost anywhere. And you can also find yourself and have a beautiful cultural life anywhere. Those are things that happen more on the inside. All right, 15-year-old Ezra. I hated the snow in northeast Minneapolis. It looked pretty when it was falling from the sky, sometimes in large, gentle flakes that made you want to stick out your tongue to catch them, and sometimes whipping in harsh winds across the plains and into the city, where the houses and stores and police station couldn't shield you. But the problem with the snow in northeast Minneapolis wasn't the snow. It was northeast Minneapolis. When the snow was falling from the sky, humans hadn't been able to taint it yet. But once it hit the ground, it started to melt and turn to slush and refreeze and change to ice. It made you slip and slide and forced you to walk differently, more carefully than you should have to. People spilled coffee in the snow. The dogs pooped and peed. Exhaust from the cars turned it gray. It never stayed pretty for long in Northeast. There was only one thing that I really liked about where we lived: sitting in my 9th grade biology class with Mr. Lucas next to Nora George. Nora was like the snow, still falling from the sky. Sometimes she glided gently into the room and settled in her chair with the grace of a Canadian lynx prowling for snowshoe hares. And sometimes she blew in fast and unpredictable, bumping into my desk or dropping her notebook. She had dark brown skin and long, shiny black hair that fell all the way to her waist. She might have seemed shy to others, but I had seen her at powwows with a tight red jingle dress and her eagle fan, beaming smiles as she bounced to the beat of the drum, raising her fan high and her long, slender fingers for the honor beats. She could light up any room in a heartbeat. Give you that much.